I'm here with Steve Nicholson, Chief Football Writer at the Derby Telegraph, after the Rams' 2-0 defeat at Brighton. Steve, what did you make of that?
Well, I think the first thing is I'm not quite sure how they're leaving here with nothing to show for their performance. You know, I thought they're very unlucky to go away empty-handed. Football is about what you do in both boxes, you know, and if you lose 2-0, then obviously you've not done well enough in either of them. Derby had a lot of the ball, they had most of the chances. Brighton's goalkeeper played particularly well. Brighton's defenders showed great character. They made blocks, they got their headers in, they put their bodies on the line, and nothing really dropped for Derby at all. When the game was 0-0, if Derby scored at any stage, they would have won. They'd have gone on and won this game. You know, Brighton were hanging on in there, and but for all the good positions they got in Derby in the final third, they didn't quite produce that one moment of quality, that cross, that final pass, that finish, if you like. But if you're missing players like Chris Martin and Darren Bent, you know, you kind of potency up front is going to be affected, and that's the case at the moment. You know, Derby have been hit by a few injuries and they're having to kind of muddle through a little bit at the moment. But the players who came in, I thought Johnny Russell did well in the forward role, which is not his role totally, but I thought he did okay. I thought Jamie Ward was bright, certainly at the start of the second half. So, you know, there were a lot of pluses, as I say, but they couldn't quite find a way through, and then they got done by a couple of sucker punches second half and lost the game 2-0. That's back-to-back defeats now, back-to-back defeats without scoring a goal. So, you know, there's a concern there, and as I say, that this championship race is getting hotter and hotter by the week, and it's really tightened up tonight. So, you know, we've got a few nervy weeks ahead.
And Steve McClaren's still looking for possibly a striker on loan?
Yeah, as I say, I mean, you know, Johnny Russell came in. He's still kind of feeling his way back, as we know. I thought he played the role. It's a very tough role, the lone striker in a 4-3-3. Very tough. Playing with your back to goal takes a bit of courage. You know, it's not the easiest thing to do. Chris Martin sometimes makes it look easy, but he's a very good player in that position. But he's done well there. And Derby, I asked Steve McClaren, they are looking for a lone striker. It's not easy to find a player of the quality who can come in and have an effect on this team. But, you know, he said to me also that he's got no problems with going with Johnny Russell again on Saturday for the home game against Birmingham, but he is still looking in the market.
Defensively, obviously, there are concerns with 2 more goals conceded tonight. What did Steve McClaren say about that?
Yeah, I mean, he can't be happy. I mean, if I had a quick look at the stats a few minutes ago, and they've conceded now 2 or more goals in 5 of the last 6 league games. If you do that, you're not going to win many games. Simple as that. You know, I'm a big one for clean sheets. Everyone knows that. You know, get a clean sheet. That's key. Get a clean sheet first and see what comes after that. And at the moment, Derby can't keep enough of them. The 2 goals they conceded weren't the prettiest of goals. They should have done better on both. And it's going to be interesting to see what Steve McClaren does with the defence. He brought, you know, he played Ryan Shotton at right back today rather than Cyrus Christie, who we were told had a chest infection, but he had a pretty awful game at Fulham. So maybe that change would have been made. Richard Keogh and Jake Buxton are the centre backs at the moment. He's got Raul Albentosa waiting now on the bench for his chance. We've no idea. I've no idea what Albentosa will be like. We've seen him briefly for 45 minutes against Chesterfield in the FA Cup. So will we see him on Saturday? There's a possibility we will. So, but what Derby need to do, they need to start, you know, defending as a team. By the way, a bit better than they are doing at the moment. Don't just lay the blame on the back 4, because in football you've got to defend as a team, and if it's not quite right in front of the back 4 defensively, you can be exposed. So let's defend as a team first and get that right. But at the moment they are conceding too many goals.